back, everybody. Another episode of 6'4" and More. We're so glad that you joined us today. We're filming a little earlier than we normally do, which makes me and Dave a little bit nervous, but I'm going to turn it over to Jeff anyway.
Yeah, thank you, and welcome back. I want to tell you about a little experience I had this week. I had a neighbor of mine, well, not really a neighbor that I know, but a friend, we'll say. He came to my house and he said, "Hey, I noticed that out behind your house you had some milkweed. Would you care if I go out and get some milk?" I was kind of taken aback, and I said, "Why?" He said, "Yeah, I'm going to go get some milk." I said, "Well, do whatever you want." So he did, just repaired around the house, and a little while later he came back and he had 2 gallons of milk. Oh, okay. So then last week he came back by and he said, "Well, when I was out there getting the milkweed, or the milk from the milkweed, I noticed that you had some honeysuckle. Would you care if I go back out there and get some honey?" I said, "Well, that's not really how it's done, but go ahead." A little while later, he came back, and he had 2 big jars of honey. So yesterday, he came by, and he said, "Well, when I was out there and I was getting the milk and the honey, I happened to notice that you had..."
Sorry, folks, we had to make a cut there real quick. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we've got them all straightened out now.
Welcome back again, folks. I'm going to now turn it over to Representative Hinman, and he's going to introduce our guest for the day.
Well, thanks again, and welcome to our 4th show. We are on a good roll, so keep on watching the videos. We appreciate the comments that we get from all the folks up here. But again, thank you very much. Today's guest is a special guest, a partner that I've had for the 3 years that I've been up here, Representative Dean VanSchoiack. Welcome,
Thank you.
Dean.
Thank you.
We
Welcome to my office.
For you that don't know, we do film in Dean's office, so we kick him out of here every Thursday morning.
So you've seen, Dean, the game that we play here is 6'4" and More. The 6th part of it is we have 6 items behind us. 4 of those are truths.
That's right.
2 of them are lies. So
That's
if
right.
you would mind reading your items, and we'll tell you what we think are the lies.
Certainly. I'm a distant cousin to both Theodore Roosevelt and Davy Crockett. I was known as Dean the Dancing Machine. I have officiated 2 weddings and a funeral. I caught a 27-pound walleye that was 3 feet 4 inches long. I enjoy baking cakes and bread, especially rye bread. And I killed 2 deer with the same shot. There you go.
Well, I tell you, I've known Dean, and we talk a lot on the drive down here. I mean, the other day we talked for an hour on the drive down, and never once has he mentioned any of these things to me. So you think you know a guy, but I have no clue as to what are the truths.
And we are a little sneaky. We get these items a few days ahead of time, so we're always constantly trying to get little hints of the
They asked me a few questions yesterday.
He didn't give any answers.
They did not.
Hey, hold on just a minute. I just saw these just now. You guys, wait a minute, Dean. I didn't get the memo here.
But I tell you, before we go on, we did we always do a little investigating on our our people that we're having on here. So the first picture we have of Dean, how old were you here?
I was a baby there. I think people have seen that
maybe a
look.
teenager. And then we have another picture on a tricycle. Must
I was
be
probably about 2 years old there, I think, something like that, 2 or 3.
with a red dress on. So.
Overalls.
And then
That'd be junior high,
junior high.
maybe freshman year of high school.
Wow.
Before I got glasses, yeah.
And then
That'd be probably out of college, after I got out of college, yeah.
So we will put these on at the end of the show so you can go get a better look at them. So, okay, I guess now it's time for us to reveal what we think are the lies.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Just to see how you guys did.
Usually Donnie and I are the exact same. Today I went with 5 and 6.
5 and 6. I went with 3 and 5 today. I wanted to go with 2, but I so want that to be true.
Well, I do too. I want to see the demonstration.
Exactly.
So we can all chant. Dancing machine. I went with 4 and 1. So you do kind of have a Teddy Roosevelt look to you, but I just.
Well, there's a reason for that.
That's the truth.
We share a common ancestor. Theodore Roosevelt had a grandmother, VanSchoiack, that's from my original line of VanSchoiack going clear back to around the 1650s when Cornelius Ernst and VanSchoiack came to Manhattan Island and farmed outside the Wall, which is where Wall Street is. So I also am a distant cousin of Davy Crockett on my grandmother VanSchoiack side of the Veach line. His grandfather, David the Elder Crockett, is in my direct line of descent. So I am a distant cousin of both Theodore Roosevelt and Davy Crockett.
Another interesting fact was last week we had on Cecily Williams, and she was a distant relative to Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys could actually be cousins.
Well, somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, number 2 is true. I was known as Dean the Dancing Machine.
Wow.
After I got out of college, I would go to the country bars, and I didn't know how to dance. My father was a very good dancer. He went to Prince Academy in St. Joe to learn how to dance, and everybody in his generation told me what a good dancer he was. And so I went to the bars, and I would watch people dance and learn the step for 2-step and that sort of thing. And I would go dance with the gals that were dancing with the guys that were really good, and learn how to do it. And so I became pretty decent at doing 2-step and swing dance and Cotton Eye Joe and line dances and all. And so, yes, some people did call me Dean the Dancing Machine, which is kind of a takeoff from those of you who are old enough to remember the Gong Show. They had a big guy named Gene the Dancing Machine on there. And so they called me Dean the Dancing Machine. Number 3, I have officiated 2 weddings and a funeral. I did the funeral first, and then a couple who had been a youth group at the church where I had helped out with the youth group for many years. They asked me to marry them. And so I went online and got a certification to be a pastor online. And then another couple just a year ago asked me to marry them as well. So I have officiated 2 weddings and a funeral. I caught a 27-pound walleye that was 3 feet 4 inches long. That is a lie. I said, if you're going to tell a tale, you just won't tell a fishtail. That is a little bit big for a walleye, but not terribly big that you wouldn't think too much of that. I enjoy baking cakes and bread, especially rye bread. I eat bread. I don't break bread. So that, and I killed 2 deer with the same shot. I did kill 2 deer with the same shot. When I hunted deer, I wasn't the guy who climbs up in a tree stand and sits there and freezes his butt off. I was the guy who walks around through the woods, and so I happened to be coming along the edge of a hayfield with some trees next to me, and I saw a deer raise its head up. I had 2 doe tags, and I shot that deer so close. I looked in the sights, all I could see was deer. I couldn't see what part of the deer I was shooting at. I shot the deer, and when I put the gun down, there were 2 deer laying dead. There's a deer right behind it that had its head down. I couldn't see. And when I took them to the processor and they skinned that second deer out, when they skinned out the rump, the bullet fell out. The skin was the only thing holding that bullet in on that second deer. So I did kill 2 deer with the same shot.
Good.
Wow.
Totally by accident, of course.
That's awesome.
I'm so glad that was legal because the conservation department's already watching our show.
I certainly are.
After goal justice is 2,000 doves, so I'm
Yeah,
so
I
glad
thought
that
you
we're
got
legal.
one. Well, 2000 does, maybe I had to put that one. Yeah.
Very good.
It shows, we did our research on you, and I believe you were born in St. Joseph.
That's correct.
So have you lived your entire life in that area
Yes.
of Missouri?
Yes, I'm 6th generation in Andrew County.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
My father bought the farm where my son lives in 1965. My great-grandfather lost the family farm during the Depression. And so my grandfather worked at Artesian Ice Company, and he bought a farm south of St. Joe, north of St. Joe, south of Savannah. We still own that. My daughter lives on that farm. And then Dad bought a farm in 1965. We moved there. The picture of me on a tricycle was taken at a house in Rosendale, no, outside of Rosendale, where we lived on a rented farm. A couple years after that, we we bought the farm where my son lives and moved there in '65, and his dad bought a couple more farms after that. So I'm 6th generation Andrew County.
That's awesome.
And married, wife, kids?
Yep, married Mary Ann, and 2 children, Rachel and Andrew, and 4 grandchildren, Levi and Kennedy and Heath and Luke.
Very good.
So you're a legislator, you're a farmer, and then you have another fantastic job.
I'm an auctioneer.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. So I have a pen here I would like you to sell. So the folks out there can get an idea
The
of what
question
you do.
the question is, do we have no bidders here tonight?
We do.
All right, one to go here to the back, here to the 1, 2,
Right there.
1 here, and 2, to the 2, 3 to the 3, 4 to the 5 to the 5, 6 to 7. And now $8 all there, 8 to 8, sold to you $7 right there. That's
And
pretty
you
good
have
for
to
this.
pay. Our filmographer has to pay before he can leave it.
Well, we sold a pen. Corbin's going to cue up some music for us by the end of this.
Hey, I want to say to you, I want to say to everybody here, what a great crew these 3 guys are. We hang together a lot, we talk together a lot, and we just have a really good time. I enjoy serving with you all.
Well, thank you.
Same here, Dean. You've been a great friend, a great mentor to all 3 of us. Love when you're on the dais. You do
Thank
a
you.
tremendous job on the dais. And I saw a little bit of that auctioneer come out the other day. You were just about to say seeing none, and somebody raised their hand. What? But you do a fantastic job up there.
Well, thank you
Appreciate
very much, I appreciate it. I enjoy doing that.
We do. One of the new things about being a new legislator up here is trying to pair up with somebody who has some experience and can give you some guidance. And Dean has really been that person for me, and being a partner, we share an assistant, we share an office complex every time, and I want to say thank you, because it's real important that you are teamed up with somebody who really wants to see you succeed.
I enjoy working
And
with you
so
too. You got it.
It's been fun, and not only do you do that for me, you do it for a lot of people out there trying to help them out, so
I
thank you
try to
very
help
much
others
for that.
out.
You guys are making
Thank
me
you.
tear up.
Maybe we could tape your eye.
Tape his eyes shut, yeah.
Thank you, folks, for joining us. Next week we might do something different, so be sure and watch that. You might enjoy it. So have a good
Thanks.
week.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week.